All right. Welcome to Tennis Sucks, Pickleball podcast with Travis Rett and mine, Graham D'Amico. Two very special guests on the pod today. We've got Jaume, Martinez, Vich, and Layne Sleeth. Sorry.
Jesus, Luke.
I'm still getting into it.
From Mexico, huh?
Yeah. Went to Mexico. I'm still suffering. Thanks guys for joining us. And Jaume, this is your first time in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But Layne, you have lived here for a little bit already, right? So, St. Pete, Tampa. Yeah, same thing. But the funny story is that Graham, you were the one that introduced Layne to pickleball to an extent, right? Is that true? You want to tell us the story?
Kind of. You somehow know Colin Johns.
Colin Johns, yeah. We used to train together for tennis.
Okay, so he contacted me and said, hey, I've got this player who's really good in tennis that wants to try picking up pickleball. Would you help her out? And I said, yeah, of course. And this was maybe, you said, yeah, I'd like to learn. I think 6 or 8 months passed. Nothing had happened. And then you won a tennis event, I think in Mexico or something, right? And then after that tennis event, you're like, I'm ready to play pickleball. I'm like, okay, come on out. We hit a couple balls. You picked up a paddle. And then within a couple months, you're playing in Major League Pickleball, right?
Yeah.
That's how I remember the story.
Yeah, that's how it went. I came out here, we played once, and then you told me to just sign up for tournaments. So I signed up for PPA Austin, and that was the start of it.
I actually remember I saw you with the dwell paddle early on. And it was like the only dwell paddle out there.
You're the only pro that's ever played a dwell paddle.
Really? I love that paddle.
Yeah. No.
They're great paddles. Oh, wait till you try that one.
Wait till a new one comes out
insane.
here in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's a great story. It's probably the fastest rise in pickleball history,
Probably.
I think.
Yeah. Why did you tap on tennis so quickly? If you had just won an event in Mexico, were you just done with it? Didn't enjoy it anymore? What was the logic there?
I had a bad elbow, and I got one surgery done, and I need another one done. So I just didn't want to go through that process again.
Yeah, it's not fun. I had 2 elbow surgeries also. It was awful.
Yeah.
So your first PPA was this year in March, and then you got drafted to the Aces in April.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I didn't think at all that I was going to get drafted, and I guess it was kind of lucky that I did. I had actually played against Jim Dobrin in the North Carolina tournament, so that's how he knew of me. And yeah, they just took a chance on me.
Wow. So you just got a call and was like, hey, do you want to come play off the MLP?
Yeah,
and you're like, I
got
guess.
a couple calls, and they were just asking me questions, and then they ended up drafting me.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I had several people contact me about you also. And I think the biggest thing was everyone just saw your athleticism and they knew your tennis pedigree. So they were like, okay, she's insanely athletic. She comes from a strong tennis background. We're taking a chance on her. She's going to improve really quickly, which you have.
Can we distinguish it though? Like strong tennis background is used. Hers was actually a strong tennis background. Like she was actually good. So I just want to make the distinction. When I hear people were a prodigy or they were really good, it just drives me nuts. Like I looked her up. I didn't know she was that good. It was like, oh shit, finals of MCs. That's really good.
Yeah, break it down. What is your tennis background, I guess? Let us know.
I was ranked 36 in junior ITFs, won 4 Canadian nationals, played on the junior Fed Cup team twice, NCAA champion finalist in singles.
Who'd you lose to?
Tian Frangranch played at UCLA. I think she's now top 200, top 300 now.
Okay. Was Emma Navarro playing at Virginia during that time?
No, she
was done?
left. Yeah, to play pro.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, so we're off the back of Miami. So all 3 of you are playing, right? I think everyone played here.
Yes. Jaume routed my ass twice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's just recap that real quick. Jaume, do you feel like you played well this past weekend?
Probably played the best he's ever played. Yeah.
I played my normal level.
Played amazing. It was unbelievable. Way outside of his norm.
Yeah. Nice. Yep. And then you obviously made it to the playoffs now, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And did your team get a bye or are you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. We have to go to Texas. I go to Texas tomorrow, and then we have to play one match, best of 3 or something like that.
Okay, sweet.
No question.
Yeah. But so, I mean, obviously you've been playing well the whole season, and has there ever been, and you filled in for a Premier team at one point, right?
Yeah.
What was that one again? Where did you fill in?
I filled
twice, no?
J. De Villiers for Columbus.
Yep.
And then I was supposed to fill for Madrox, but I got banned, I guess.
Okay.
What they said no? Atlanta said no?
No, and MLP said no.
That's weird.
Atlanta said yes, we agreed, and then there was some miscommunication with some rules that we were not aware or something, and then they said I couldn't play.
Oh.
Do you get paid extra for that or just count as an event?
It counts as an event.
Okay, great.
Yeah. That's why at the beginning it was it's a good thing because we have to play a certain amount of events to fulfill a contract.
Too many.
And then having premier events counting, it's great because on the good side you're playing premier and you have an event, so you could play like less PPAs or less events. So for me it was great.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I would say you were probably like the largest uptick guy of this year. Like there was people you didn't know, like Augie, who you made finals in North Carolina with. But I think based on like previous performance from maybe the end of last year to this year, it was like, shit, the guy's good in doubles.
Well, the thing is like when the MLP draft was done, it was the
Week
day before.
I know, I remember.
2 days before I did the first ever final in doubles.
Well, I felt similar because we made quarters, Connor and I, and lost to Federico and Pablo. And then you made
Pablo.
final. I was like, damn, bad timing. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys played great there.
It was the first time that also I had a different partner than I used to. Until then, I only played with White Stone. I never.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We didn't do
you
bad.
beat the Johns brothers. I mean, that was a fucking hell of a win.
Good results, but
yeah, but Augie's is a little more steady.
When Wyatt and me we did good results, people always say we were lucky.
Right.
that's how it went. So,
but it's nice when you do it with multiples then, and it just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When did you feel like, if you don't mind me asking, sorry, I'm interjecting, that you had like a good understanding of what the doubles was, and do you still feel like you're learning?
Yeah, I to answer the first question, I don't think I still have a good understanding.
Yeah, I feel the same.
It's kind of interesting how it works because some weeks I do feel like I improved a lot and I have a lot of knowledge of what I'm doing, and then fast forward 2 weeks later, I feel like I lost everything that I already learned.
Yeah, I totally understand.
It goes up and down in such a way that like now I feel again like this last MLP I feel again like I regained the patterns that I was using and stuff like that. But before this one, like you can see, like my results are one final and then one first round and then one final and then one first round and semi-mix, same in singles. You know, I think now I'm still learning about every event, and as I learn one, I forget about the other one, and so that's how I'm a little overwhelmed on all the events.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, in Miami, you played the best I've ever seen you play. Me, I was in that forgetting phase. You know, you were in your phase where you had all of it going good, and me. But I picked it up last day. He agreed with me. Did you see that? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's the singles. You were kind of like known for that early. Do you like that as much, or what's your favorite discipline?
Well, I think my favorite discipline right now is mixed. Because I get to kind of
not in our match. Not in our match. Not when I play with Layne.
Oh well.
Can't wait to talk
she makes
about
the difference in the court. We can put it like that. But yeah, it means I get to use like a lot of my singles strategies and a little bit of doubles. So that's why it's my favorite. In men's doubles, I think it's too much double version for me. I like a lot of hand battles, stuff like that.
More dynamic.
And singles, right now there is all these different paddles that makes the game different.
I knew that was coming.
So it just takes the fun a little bit
out of it.
A little bit out of it.
Yeah, it feels more like an arms race.
Yeah.
So just a reference, you were talking about the a PPA vet match where you and Layne played against Jaume and Layne. Is that right? Yeah. Is that the first time that you've had to play against each other in mix?
It's second time.
Oh, second time?
But
who was the first one?
This one was a lot worse.
First time was in MLP.
Okay.
And it was the first ever MLP, and you know, we already knew each other for a little bit, and she was like really new, so it wasn't that hard for me to like get away
she
with
beat me in her first
everything.
MLP, so fuck. Okay, I took an L there.
Okay.
I don't know how. To be honest, I still
maybe
like
she
lose
plays really
sleep.
good, like
I
just
was
like me in
clueless,
MLP.
but I was out there just swinging.
No, you were not swinging. You were hitting these fluttering dinks that I couldn't attack. Barely. Oh shit. Oh my nope. And it was infuriating.
That's awesome.
I think that was. I fucking launched my racket during that. I remember. I was.
I think
pissed.
he chucked it to the back of the court.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I fucking launched it.
Oh god.
Oh God. Yeah, it was not my proudest moment. Okay, I'm not perfect.
That's funny. So do you? So on the back of that, do you think that you'll continue to play face off against each other, or do you think that you might actually end up partnering up?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we will see on the future, but for now, we're gonna keep facing each other.
Okay, there you go. All right, sweet.
Are we allowed to talk about that match yet?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah. I can come back to some of the questions.
So that was for me probably the most awkward match I've ever played.
Okay, go.
Probably for
all of us.
I
our
kept
partners.
trying to make jokes, and Jaume really told me, "Stop talking, Travis." Like basically, shut the fuck up. And I was like, "No, you shut the fuck up. Like, actually, start talking. Make this more fun. This is not fun."
Yeah, it wasn't that fun. Yeah.
And
And
then
he body bagged me.
he body bagged you. I go to her. I was like, "No affection
Okay.
for Jaume tonight." She's
Okay,
like, "Absolutely none." So pissed.
Okay, I body bagged her because I didn't want to body bag her. You know, so my shot was actually going out because I didn't want to hit her, and she was on the way of my shot going out.
It's not
Got
the
it.
best explanation I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's
But
good
it's a good
save. Good save.
attempt. And the crazy thing is, I think we were down 9-1 game 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
We have like
11
the
seats,
best
9-1.
comeback ever. Not a word was said.
Not
There was
really.
no like, vamos, let's go. Layne, silence, which is normal for you. But for me, not so much. And I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what was going on. Jaume didn't even look upset when it happened. It was like, this is fucking weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Layne, are you apprehensive about having to have that in the future, or are you
Having a what?
are you apprehensive about having to face off against Jaume again, or do you think that you're gonna
I mean,
have
yeah,
a
I'd
skin?
rather not face off against
Yeah.
him
We
again.
We
but
just played against each other too in MLP before the day before
Oh,
that.
really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have to say that they chose that matchup.
They
Like,
did.
Their
Bold.
team chose it. They had the
How'd that end
choice
up?
and they chose it. She played with Pablo and I played with Susana and we won.
Oh.
But
Sorry, Layne. So
but
we're
I
0-3,
didn't want to
huh?
play
Yeah,
against her.
tough.
I didn't want to play
0-3,
against her.
damn it. We got to get that record up a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of shit talk in my house. I can tell you that.
It's probably gonna get to shit talking. I think it's gonna be fair once she has
A little more time.
mastered a little bit on the experience. I
Sure.
think she's fairly new, and it wouldn't
Of
be fair
course.
for me to like shit talk because
You're,
she's so
you're
new.
a really nice guy, Jaume. Jesus, you sound
Well, I mean,
very,
everybody
very
knows I'm
sweet.
pretty nice. I am sweet too.
I believe,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Because someone asked me, like, well, if you were playing your significant other, how would that go? I was like, oh, fucking lighting her up all day. Just body bag after body bag. Take it.
That's funny.
Probably I'm divorced, but anyway.
Yeah, I can't imagine actually, Layne, you doing much shit talking. Do you think that you're going to develop that skill, or do you think you're just going to go in and
I mean,
be
it
pretty-
depends on the person. I'm
Yeah.
never the one to start it. I feel like it's what they come at me with.
I have to say
You
that
got a nice wiggle.
I've seen her shit talk and I've seen the finger wiggle.
yeah.
I've seen it twice or 3 times.
Okay.
She gave to Donald once.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he was
Yeah, 'cause
fucking hitting the ball
Donald
so
started
hard.
it.
you're
Oh,
right.
yeah, but that's the only. We were talking about that after. The only way that he and I can play decent is if we talk.
Yeah,
If we don't
true.
talk, we suck.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you didn't talk in our last match.
I was depressed. I was having a moment.
Okay.
No, I don't know why. Honestly, like sometimes it's just hard to have it, but I don't know what it is.
I mean, when we played in Virginia, you
I was talking
literally-
fucking
you
so
literally-
much.
I was like, holy.
Holy shit, this guy's
You're
out of
like
his
going
mind.
at top
Every second.
every second
Every
possible.
second.
In mixed and men's doubles.
Yeah.
I was like,
But that's the only way for me. Or else I honestly, I get lethargic. I don't know what it is, but I watched my previous match when we played you and I'm barely moving. The match where we play Miami, I'm like, you know, like there was more motivation, monetary gain, but either way, it was like, yeah. Anyway, I need it. I got to find someone in the crowd or someone I dislike to talk shit to.
with the referee.
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter who it is.
Are you both fans of shit talking? Like, do you play better if people shit talk at you during a game?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
do?
I
Yeah.
think I play better too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets you fired
sure?
up.
You sure about that?
And not this Hershey's in the court. But,
Oh, no. I was
but
thinking.
in normal scenario,
Circumstance.
I like to play against the crowd.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, against the player.
Funny, I like that too. I like when the crowd starts talking because then I
Yeah.
feel more open to talk shit back. And then it's like,
It's kind of like they are daring you to do something
Yeah.
better. you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
if I don't know. That's for me. It was that way too.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, Graham was just telling me, Travis, that might have been a factor in your last match
Oh, it was
against.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I had these 5 Cuban guys that were talking so much shit. And I was bringing like, no mames, carajo, chingado, güey. Like this the whole
In
time.
our match?
No, I didn't talk. I didn't say a word. Against Miami, there were these 5 Cuban guys who we actually like. They were great. They were fantastic. But I told them, I was like, the more you talk, the better I play. Just you're not smart.
When we played
me
Miami,
die.
actually the 5 people were also there, and I ended up being good friends with them because I was like, "Hey man, I like you guys."
Yeah, I said the same thing. I went up and had a picture, and they were like,
the same.
yeah, they were awesome.
That's awesome. That's so good.
And after that, you're now my favorite player. I was like, thanks, man. Fucking A. Turn the card.
That's wild. So Layne, so you pretty much shot up in the pro scene then. Now people went from not knowing you at the beginning of this year to now knowing who you are. Has that helped you in terms of getting partners for like the PPA tour, or like are you like how do you go about getting them, I guess?
I would say it's definitely easier to get a mixed partner than a woman's partner. I don't know what that's based off of, but yeah,
Disparity.
getting a good woman's partner is still tough, I would say.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like partnered up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still like looking for someone to kind of like, would you prefer to like play with like a bunch of different people and then see who you gel with, or do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably just play with a bunch of people and see who my favorite person is to play with.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, she's still figuring out even what side she wants to play.
Oh, right.
She's
She
way
can play
better on the
both sides,
left.
right?
She's
So-
way better on the left.
Yeah, left.
I think she's
I
way
think
better
so
on the
too.
left.
Yeah.
Her backhand roll is money. Forehand dink is a little slicey. Like if you can start rolling it,
Yeah.
good. But your
She needs
backhand
a
dink is tough.
forehand counter in the middle.
I need
As
a
well,
lot of work on the
on the left side.
forehand.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't generate more pop. Like, why do you think that is?
More
Do you think that's
pop?
paddle related, or is that you? Like in tennis, were you a big ball striker? I imagine with your legs, you were more of a counter puncher.
Yeah, I definitely was mostly on defense in tennis. I also don't think I have a lot of power with my paddle, but
Yeah.
also my grip doesn't help me at the same time.
So are you like analyzing this? Like, for me, I became really obsessed with pickleball. I was like, oh, I love this. This is so fun. Still to this day, I feel that way most of the time. Are you looking at your game and thinking, how do I get better? What do I need to do? Watching matches back? Is that part of your I don't, that was a no.
No, I definitely don't watch my matches. I probably should, but
watch everything.
yeah, I think I do know what I need to work on, but I prefer to just compete, and I really don't enjoy practicing that much,
Fair.
which is kind of a problem.
That's a problem.
So you play more than you practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Is that the same for you, Jaume? I mean, you pretty much train with Tyson, right? Is that still the case?
I trained with him like twice, but for me it was like this at the beginning when
Okay.
I prioritized the singles where I didn't have to get in and practice, you know. So until I started to see that in doubles you require so much more knowledge and so much more variety, then I started to put a little bit more time into certain shots, whether it was the backhand roll or the dinking being a little bit more aggressive, like it opens up a lot of the court. And before I had no idea that this was a choice, you know?
Right.
So since that moment, and since that moment that I started doing a little bit of that,
Mhm.
is when I started having results.
Right.
Until then, I was just kind of like doing what she's doing.
Is it
which-
not fun, Layne? Like, is that why you don't like to practice? You just not find it enjoyable?
Yeah, I don't find it like very athletic or like even very hard, I guess. It's just like super repetitive, and all you can do is like the same 4 drills.
See, I feel like it's the opposite. For me, anyway. I felt like tennis, you find this like really basic structure and you work on these, patterns. And I feel like in pickleball, there's so many shots to add that require almost no technique and you could never hit in tennis. It's too
Yeah.
refined. Like I could never hit an inside out fade that way and speed the guy up. So it's like, I enjoy the search for new ways to fool my opponent.
Yeah, I feel like because she's so new, I identify with her because I was in her
Yeah.
position too, and she just has no clue of what she can add. Like
Uh-huh.
for me, when I go to practice and I'm doing like the thing that she says is just ding cross or whatever, I'm trying to put the ball in the same spot, moving my body in a certain way
Sure.
so I can make
Different
the
spins.
other guy think that I'm speeding up or that I'm doing
Right.
this. So it becomes fun for me now because I already mastered the general basis of the shot.
Mhm.
Sure.
And so I can play with my body and
So you
and
think
do-
it will be fun for her at some
I
point?
think when she gets a solid partner
Uh-huh.
and when she gets to like hold the ball and start to have fun with her body and counters and stuff like that, I think she will have fun practicing because she'll see so many more options that you can practice
Yeah.
rather than just a dink. Because if you think about it, if you just drill a dink, it
Yeah, it's
sounds
boring.
boring.
It's so boring.
You know, so how is it different, right? So that's but that comes with time, I think.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, that variety and for sure. Did
Yeah.
you you like competing, Layne? Like, is
yeah,
that fun
I love
for you?
competing.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
it's
like
my
you like
favorite
the
thing.
play of pickleball.
Yeah.
You just don't like the practice portion.
No.
Why don't you just practice singles then? Like for the most part, make it athletic and agile, and at least get the ball feel.
Yeah.
You can still get reps.
I definitely prefer to practice singles and just like play points and stuff.
Got it. Yeah, I only play points. I can't fucking drill. It's so boring.
Yeah.
I have to make every drill a game.
Do you have any pros near you to practice with at this point? No?
No one.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be a huge difference maker. That's like the thing that Graham and Travis, they always talk about. Is like having access to pros makes a huge difference for training,
But I
right?
think also with her, like if I didn't have this where I could just come and play and fuck around and have fun, I probably would be similar. Be like, oh, I have to find a practice. This is going to fucking suck. I don't want to do that. But here it's just like, you just come play. Maybe it's not, JW and Diescu or something, but at least it's fun.
Yeah. And who are you training with, Jaume, at this point?
Well, I'm on the road most of the time. So whenever I land in a tournament, I just train the days before a little bit. I am trying to move to full time to Boca or Del Rey, something like this.
Yeah.
And then have a base where I can train more. But
Nice.
for now, I still get a lot of reps going to places 1 or 2 days early. Whenever I'm in Tampa, I see with her.
Nice.
And that's pretty much it.
There's a great new facility opening in St. Pete.
If you're interested.
If you're interested, there's a lot of...
We're putting some nice deals together.
Yeah. So one question I was going to ask. So you're right now in MLP, you're playing in Challenger. In the PPA tour, you're playing primarily with Tyson, right? And that is pretty much set, I guess. How is it playing with someone who's like top 10 pretty much the whole time in PPA, and then you get thrown together with people in your MLP team that you don't really get much influence in?
Well, this is an interesting topic because I actually struggled this year a little bit to combine those two scenarios, because in one scenario I am used to like playing with premier players, we'll say, and so whether you like it or not, the game it goes a lot different. I have to make shots that are a lot different. My life is a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then when I get thrown into Challenger again, I have to be careful with whatever I give to the other team, just so my partners don't get attacked.
Yeah.
I get attacked from places that I should never be getting attacked. I get attacked to my head. That's I should never be having to dodge a ball every point, you know. So I've struggled with that, because you'll play like a bunch of MLP and then you'll be thrown right away in a PPA.
Sure.
And then my level is not there because I got used to doing something that I shouldn't be doing.
Right.
You know. So, but other than that, I mean, it just takes a little bit of a while, and it is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
So you're saying that effectively you're
decibels.
You're playing down at an MLP almost, in a sense, and then you have to try and come right back up into this higher level.
I obviously try to play the same level on both.
Sure.
It's just that
the shot selection is different.
What you get, and the shot selection, as you said, what you get in return of what you play is not as organized, as structured.
Okay, well, let's be more candid here. So why do you say, like, the disparity in the women is obviously a lot more vast, right? Like, we had Ryan Fu come in and sub in as a non-drafted player and win 2 men's in Premier that day.
Yeah.
I don't think that could happen on the women's side yet. Why do you think that is? Like, why haven't more girls gotten into the sport when there's so much opportunity in it?
I'll tell you why.
Okay. Good.
Under my point of view, you know, the men's level, it's most of the men have most of the shots. Yep. They just don't know how to use them yet, or when to use them, right? So that's what will make a challenger or premier, is a premier player will shot select more successfully than a challenger player. It's not because they have better shots or worse.
True.
And so in that instance, when you put a sub with a premier player, which the premier player says, hey, I need you to do this and this, and that's all the things that the sub player has to do, that match will mostly always go good or decently good to win, especially in MLP scoring, because the sub player is not improvising because they want to do good. It's not playing wildly like they would play in Challenger. They are playing under certain rules that the male dominant premier player is setting for that match. And I think that's why the score, being MLP, like, if it would be regular scoring, it wouldn't be that close or having victories, I think.
But you don't. No, they would, though, because look at the men last year. Yeah, because you had Pat Smith and DJ Young beat the Johns brothers last year, you had, you know, that there are scenarios where you have essentially the 30 or 40th best team beating the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah, it does happen. Maybe more on the odd time in regular scoring. In MLP scoring, I think it might
It can happen
happen
all the time.
more.
For sure.
More.
It limits the margins.
And in women's, I think it doesn't happen as often because one, I don't think the women's are playing a little different pickleball of what the men play, and a man can cover and redirect the ball a little better. The girls are staying behind the line a little more and doing more hand battles. So therefore, when there is a sub, it's gonna get involved a lot more.
Okay.
During
So it
that
can't be
rally.
hidden as much.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
Under my point of view, I don't know. I might be
Yeah.
wrong too.
No, I mean, I do think you're wrong, but that's okay. You have your point of view.
Thank you, Travis.
I think there's just, I think there's, I appreciate it. No one's ever given me an answer to it like that. So it's good.
It's an interesting take.
I have to
So
go
the
with
one
that
time
one.
that somebody gives you an answer is wrong.
Yes.
All right.
And I said on that
I
particular
like
topic.
that you're looking
on that,
for wrong answers.
No, I wasn't. I was really hoping you had something enlightening, but that wasn't it.
I don't know. Layne, do you have a take on it at all?
Please, another wrong answer.
No,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it
No,
right. I
thought
think
that
she's
was
going to get this right.
so
Yeah.
I'll stick with that one.
There you go.
Oh, you like his?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you are.
Thank you.
Wow.
So I have a right answer and a wrong answer.
Yeah.
If it's
It
2 to
works out.
1,
That's funny.
Then
I
guess
just
you
think
only
there's
leave one
more
person wrong
disparity.
over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know Graham agrees with me, but he's just too nice.
What? do you have a preference actually speaking of this, like between playing women's doubles or mixed? Do you find the challenge of having the guys involved like more exciting because they're playing a different style of game, or do you prefer women's because everyone's a little bit more equal?
Really depends on what guy I'm playing with. I don't really like when they take too much court, especially when I'm dinking.
Right.
So I probably prefer playing women's unless I'm playing with a good guy that I like to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pablo.
Yeah. Shout out to Pablo. Stepping on my foot.
That's funny. Do you have a preference then? Because obviously we like the competitiveness of things. Do you prefer MLP format that it might feel a little bit more competitive, or do you like PPA format for that reason?
I would say my favorite is probably playing PPA singles and then MLP just coming from college tennis and just playing on a team.
Okay, nice. Yeah. What about you, Jaume? Do you have a preference over the two tour styles, like MLP or PPA style? Like, do you have a preference?
Playing Premier, I like MLP style. Playing Challenger, I like regular style.
Okay.
Did you say based on the scoring or just based on the overall?
format, like
Okay.
like MLP's team format, like versus traditional. Like,
Because I would love to
PPA.
see still the MLP scoring format change a little bit. I would like to see it. Tell me what you think about this. I think there's no room to make an adjustment in MLP because it's so fast. So let's say your attack is you're going to go attack Travis drive at him for the first 10 points, and it doesn't work. You're down 7, and it's like, fuck, we got to scramble. I think there's no room or time to make the adjustment. I would love to see them go like 2 out of 3 games to 11 or 15 where you can make a calculated adjustment and don't get this huge hole right away that feels insurmountable. Because then you don't have good pickleball. Like everyone's just tight, fucking trying to do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, actually, I really agree with your take, and I think actually best of 3 games to 15 rally scoring, that will give enough time for a team to adjust or even change size, because in MLP scoring also you have one side that you play the whole time, and people tend for some reason not to like stack or do different stuff that you could do on a regular scoring. I'm probably one of the first ones that, like with Susanna Bar, sometimes I play right, sometimes I play
We were
left.
pissed when you stacked against Donald because we wanted him serving to her.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That was smart.
why would I
Because you
do
countered
that?
exactly what we wanted.
I did the same with Pablo. Like it's just you have to like come up with when I first mentioned it to do that, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, because they're like, why would you do that? I say, well, it makes sense. If they serve strong, she's not gonna get to the kitchen and she's gonna make returns. So
No, she's gonna miss a lot of them.
so if that I don't apply it from the first point, and I applied when I start to see things going wrong, I don't have time to win the match because it's already 12-7.
Right,
And 12-7, we get to 24-21.
It's just how you feel in the beginning, basically. Like if you're good out of the gates, we win.
Right.
If you're good out of the gates, or you suck out of the gates, we lose. Like there should be some time to like, okay, this guy is not dinking well. Okay, this guy, there's none of that.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
the other part of that, and maybe this will lead into our commissioner question, is, I love going to sporting events. Fucking love it. I love going to basketball games. I love going to hockey games. And those events are generally 2.5 hours long, give or take. Right now, let's say one day, MLP is the product we all hope it will be and people are, leaving their houses here to go to our facility, they're not going to leave for a fucking match that lasts 1 hour. That's too boring. Like I'm not taking all the time. So how do you sell that? And they say like, 4 teams will play at a location. No, that's not going to work. Maybe short term, but not long term. So if you go 3 out of 5 games or 2 out of 3 games to 15, I think every game picks up about 10 minutes probably as far as each discipline, gender. You're probably getting right around to 2 hours and 10 minutes on average. That's good. That's a great time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any, Travis kind of led into a question. If you were the commissioner of MLP, and this is a question for both of you, like, is there anything you would change about it to make that product more interesting or entertaining?
Or pickleball in general.
Or pickleball in general,
one, yeah. MLP and otherwise.
Well, yeah, as he said, definitely it needs to be more attractive to the viewer, whether it's from a scored way, or I don't know what other way it could be. Also, I would like to see more like the teams. Like if I play a meets against Travis, like I think both meets should face each other, and that should come as something too.
Mhm.
Not always like the same meets is playing the same. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I could play like in one game, maybe I could
We have
play
subs.
against
Or maybe we have a
Travis
sub.
and Krista, and then we switch and I play against Donald and Martina.
So are you saying
yeah.
we could sub the team or we could just sub the player? Because we've talked about that. Like maybe if, I'm playing like shit and we have 6 people on the team for a 4 and we're like, all right, you're out. Varun, you're in.
I don't know if that would work because that would make it even shorter. But I would say like a whole,
No,
a
it
whole
would
match
be
again.
the same time frame. It would be the same time frame. But you're saying so like play what like a game to 25 still, but one against that mixed team, one against that one.
Yeah.
So the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
whole
fair.
thing. And also I would like to see some change in the Dream Breakers. Like 4 points is just it's tragic.
It's too short.
Right.
It's tragic for good players and it's tragic for bad players.
Yeah.
It's just like I'd say like I don't know. It doesn't need to be longer, but maybe you choose 2 players that play half and half, or like I don't know. Like it just for me, I love to play singles, but I'm like, okay, there you go. You play 4 points, and like it's just I don't know.
Graham, you have a pretty good like suggestion for the Dream Baker model. Have you talked about that on the pod yet? Yeah. Do you want to explain
I
it?
love that. That's my favorite.
What do you think about staggering?
Well, I don't know what that means.
So for the first rotation, one team their player plays 2 of the points, but on the other side plays 4 points. So as you go through the rotations, you actually end up playing a lot more different players. So you would play, maybe you and Ben Johns, let's say, is the first matchup. You play 4 points, but he only plays 2. So then in comes Colin. You play Colin for your second 2 points. But then when it comes, now Colin plays 2 against one of their players, and then the next person comes in. And so you're seeing almost every person on the team in singles.
I see.
We're seeing more matchups. That way you're going to always see kind of the male versus female matchup, which I think people love.
People love that,
that's like the best thing in MLP.
It's just a little complicated on that because sometimes one player is really good and one player sucks.
That's the best part. Because maybe the player who sucks
But
wins a
then
couple
at least
points.
they're only playing them for 2 points instead of 4 straight. You know, if you stagger it.
Okay.
And then someone better could come in and take that person out, perhaps.
Okay.
And get them back to even.
I guess like the way that I kind of defined it, it's just a more high level game because you choose 2 of the best players that play, like whether it's one guy and one girl per se.
Yeah.
And it becomes a little bit more interesting, and you don't know which one is gonna win. It's kind of like for now when I go to a Dream Breaker, especially in Challenger, there is 2 players that suck and 2 players that are decent usually. And most of the times, unless there is a big fuck up on the team, most of the times you know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
So
Huge advantage. Yeah.
teams will make their plays to go to Dream Breaker and win, and that shouldn't be
That makes sense.
so clear.
I agree with that.
On making just 2 wins, and then you know you're gonna win.
But
Dream
isn't that
Breaker.
part of the strategy of drafting your team? Is like they've created a team where they want to win Dream Breakers, and you've created a team that you're hoping to not go to Dream Breakers. And so that's a whole strategy in itself in just building the team.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you could see it like that, but
I kind of agree with him on this one.
it takes away the fun of the game knowing that, kind of.
Yeah.
Like not knowing that my player will lose 4 points in singles, and I don't know. Like
It's so tough because it's like you want to create a product that people want to watch, but then if the players aren't happy doing the format, then you're not really creating a product that the people want to watch. So it's this difficult thing. Like people want to see Jesse
that-
Irvin
that's-
score 1 point against Ben Johns, right?
They want to
If-
see.
They do.
Of course.
They
Like if
love
you
it.
listen to the crowd noise and let's say that Ben wins 11 out of 12 points, the crowd will scream the loudest of the entire match when Jesse Irvin gets that one against Ben Johns.
Maybe. maybe I might give you a little bit of that, but
You
I
gotta
think
get some
as a
perspective.
crowd, like going to a Dream Breaker, they would like more, like say
Better pickleball.
let's say oh, if they go Dream Breaker, it's Jaume against Tyson for 11 points. Like now the people actually wants to see what they see in PPA. That's why there is people wanting to see those matches, right?
Yeah.
Rather than if I play against a sub or like somebody that I know I'm gonna crash anyway, like 10-2.
Yeah.
That doesn't bring anything. They
Yeah.
know that I'm gonna win, you know. But if it's like normal matchups, whether you can choose, okay, the 2 worst players are gonna play the Dream Breaker, not the 2 best players or something. So, but something that is equal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely understand. They do it actually. We have a league local that's called All Florida Pickleball.
Okay.
It's like the pro level. It's kind of like the people who are trying to qualify for PPA. And they do exactly that. They only put their best male and their best female in. And they play the whole Dream Breaker with just one guy and one girl.
Interesting.
And it's good, but sometimes it still happens that one team they drafted based on having really good singles players. And so you'll have 2 girls play each other and the one girl is destroying the other one. And now you got to watch 11 points of one girl winning every single, you know what I'm saying? Like it can still happen based on how you
Yeah.
draft your team.
But I've never heard his perspective. Like I feel like he's saying, and
He wants
I,
to see it be more competitive.
Well, he wants to see better pickleball,
Better
also,
pickleball,
like
right.
higher level. Where I think you and I are more just like, give us fucking drama,
Give us,
give us stories, like give us. Oh my god, how the fuck did he choke against her? You know,
Right.
stuff like that. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
it's just a different
but
perspective.
At the same time, that happens like 1 point that was 11.
Sure, it's
you know,
super
it's
rare.
not enough. It's not enough drama
That-
for
okay,
the viewer
that's
to be.
that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
engaged
fair.
in
That makes sense. That's a good point. It's so rare that it's like, it's already predetermined.
I feel like the Dream Breakers are pretty exciting. I mean,
The average fan loves them.
the average fan loves it. You don't feel that way when even if it's a blowout, like I don't know, 14-21, like the crowd.
when the Dream Breaker starts like 10-2, it's just
Yeah, that's true.
everybody just,
That's true.
you know, which it most of the time, not most of the time, but almost a lot of times, it's that case. You know,
A big
like,
disparity.
It's just too much disparity.
But that will change as time. I would think as time goes on, maybe not, because there's going to be single specialist and double specialist maybe as you go forward. But as the player level all gets better and better, and the disparity is much smaller between the top 100 people in the world, I think every match is going to possibly become more competitive. You're not going to have this huge one sub comes in and they're way worse than you are, right?
Yeah.
Like the 100th guy in the world will be as good as the 30th guy in the world, or
Yeah,
the 15th guy in the world.
absolutely. That's for sure.
So, all right.
Layne, do you have any ideas for if you were commissioner, how would you change the game? Do you have any suggestions at all? It doesn't have to be MLP.
I don't know. It could be fun. It's like winner stays on the court. Whoever wins
That's a
the
good
point
one.
stays on the court.
I like that.
Oh,
Because that
like
would actually do what you said in a sense. The best players would send them out, and then you'd have the strategy of, do we put Jaume out first or do we put Susanna out first?
that's
What do we
true.
fucking do?
And that would still bring the drama that you guys are, because me as a good player, I might stay with the good player, and then comes somebody else and I miss the return
Right.
or whatever.
That
I
would
like
be
that
cool.
point a
That's
lot.
actually not
awesome.
bad.
Yeah,
that's
I like
a good
that.
suggestion.
Hey,
Wow.
Thanks,
look
guys.
at right answer.
Hey, not a lot of words, but good words. Okay.
Can you
Nice.
keep talking more?
Yeah, she's probably got a lot of
Give us
shit
more.
in there that
Give
we
me
don't know
more.
about.
Give me more.
That's funny.
We talked for 30 minutes. You couldn't come out with it.
Yeah, like, just sat on that.
You just had to ask.
All right,
Mejor.
thank you.
Yeah, perfecto.
Perfect.
New commissioner right here. That's funny.
Okay, I got a rule change real quick. What do you think about this one? What if you took so I hate the fact that you had a good angle and it's right away an ATP. I would like to see, and I also hate the fact that like one guy can almost stand still, right? You can't make them shift, because if I hit an angle, then it's an ATP every time.
Yeah.
Why don't we move the post 6 inches? So that way I
Like
can
more
shift
wide?
Colin over there and he has to actually fucking move. And then now you get them moving. And the game becomes much more athletic and much more dynamic.
I think that's a good rule too. Making the post a little longer.
Because it's a bad look for the sport when you have guys on the court that really don't look. And Colin, you are mobile. I'm not going to fucking shit on you. You are mobile. Okay. You just don't look mobile. But there are guys who aren't mobile and extremely successful. Like that doesn't work. You got to have
also,
an athletic look.
Also, that would make the left side player work harder.
Correct.
Because he has to make a half a step more to cover.
Yeah, he's got to
the
shift all the way
sliding guy.
across, right?
Yes,
Like I mean,
yes.
in tennis and doubles, you're spreading it like this so much, and you can't do that as much because of this fucking post being right there.
Yeah. I actually like that change a lot too.
Thank you.
Some people say
not
like
mine. I
bring
stole
the
it.
net higher or make the kitchen bigger.
No,
I don't
like
agree with
those either.
those, but I never thought about the post, and I think that's
Zane's the one who told me, so I'll give him credit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's a really good idea.
yeah, I think that's great too.
Nice. You've recruited 3 people now to that rule change. You just have to keep
the
working
right,
your
it's
way
the right
through.
rule change. And the thing is, you don't have to change it for the rec game. Like all these nets can stay, but at professional level, you need people shifting. You need athleticism heightened.
Right.
You can't have a guy
Yeah.
take 8 steps, burn 12 calories, and he's
Yeah, that's something
Yay!
also that it should be in. We're trying to make pickleball a professional sport, and so therefore we as players have to look as professionals
Right.
too.
correct.
So
Yeah.
we have to be fit.
Yeah.
We have to be fit.
We can like want everybody to expect to believe that we're playing a high competitive thing when there is people that is not fit
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works.
Yeah. So actually thinking about, there's another rule. How do you guys feel about the drop serve and like the kind of changes they've been doing with the serves? Do you have an opinion on de-weaponizing it, or do you think the serve is fine the way it is? Do you have an opinion on that?
I think the serve, as long as you don't serve from very high, I think we all, especially coming from tennis, we're gonna find a way to weaponize it either way.
Right.
I don't think there is nothing you can do.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
We want to find a way.
I think the drop serve is the best option just because it takes out any decision from the ref. It just makes it easy.
That
Drop
yes.
and fucking hit it. And then if you can rope a forehand off the drop, awesome. Good for you. Then that's good. But
Maybe it's a good question for her because she gets called a lot of
I
illegal
was gonna
serves.
say I don't really like any of the serve rules because I get called at every
it's
single
funny. I
tournament.
actually said it to the ref.
Yeah,
and then
Travis was the one who called
Yep.
me out.
I called you out, and then like 2 seconds later, she's like, "Warning." I was like, "Thank you." I knew it. I knew it.
I don't even know why
it's
you
funny.
cared. My serve literally sucks
Yeah,
no matter
that's
what
what
I
it
do
That's
with
what I
it.
find the funniest. Like they call her illegal serve, but she literally is like throwing the ball with her hand. It's like the softest serve.
I was just being a
I'm like,
dick.
why is people calling her either way?
That's so funny.
Come on.
Damn. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, Graham's point on the drop serve is to your argument, Jaume, is he thinks that the drop serve takes away the viewing, from the viewing perspective, that it looks less athletic. Like it feels
Not
a little
true.
bit less exciting. What do you think on that?
No, I think dropping the serve or throwing the serve, it doesn't have to do with athleticism at all. It's the
Okay.
way you hit the ball. And so
Sure.
if that makes a more fair call with the ref, I think that's the way it should go. Like right now, it's like too much on the point of the opinion on the
Yeah.
ref, whether the ref is taller or shorter or something.
it's
They
so
see
hard.
it in a different way.
Right.
And that's just, you cannot even complain about it. What are you going to say? There's no cameras or something. Most of the court, there's one court that you can challenge.
Right.
Other than that,
Yeah.
opinions.
Got it. Makes sense. All right. So let's round it off with looking ahead. So Jaume, you're the only person that's going to be moving into the playoffs for MLP, so congrats to you. Sorry to Travis. But are you going to change anything going into the playoffs for MLP, or do you feel pretty confident where you guys are at, like as a team? Like, yeah.
No, I don't know. I'll just go and play. I think it's an interesting format what they decided to do. Like we have to play the same team best of 3 times. I hope that we have to mandatory change the mixes so
That
it
would be great.
becomes
Yep.
more fair. Because otherwise, like the entire team, which is us, choose every. We won automatically the toss, so we choose every matchup. So I don't think like it would be fun for anybody to play the same team twice without changing nothing.
Mhm.
And I hope like even in the Dream Breakers, if I play Rafa in the first match, I should be playing Blaine on the second matchup. Like just change stuff and see who is the better team all over, rather than choosing the same thing.
Yeah, the 2 players are winning,
Yes.
basically. Yep.
Yeah, I don't
No, I
know.
like that. I think you make good points.
You saw that format for MLP
No, I didn't.
playoffs?
I didn't.
So every day they play the same team 3 days in a row. So maybe
Okay.
at least 2 days,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But they play a whole match against them. And then they play that same team on day 2, another whole match against them. And if it splits, they go a third day, another whole match against them.
Yeah. So wouldn't it make sense to play everything different? the
Yeah,
day
I think
two?
so. Change
And
everything
then
up.
the day third, you do whatever you want and you make a fair toss
Yeah.
without choosing. It's
Yeah, those are small adjustments that I think would pay dividends
like
from
that
just
would
a viewership.
make it fun for the players too.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to play the same
No,
mixed
no, no.
match.
I wanna try to
twice.
figure something
It's so
else out.
boring.
So who are you guys playing against in Dallas?
Las Vegas Night Owls.
Las Vegas, and you chose that team.
No,
They chose you
no,
guys.
Miami chose, and by
default, you guys-
Okay.
we play Vegas. Yeah,
Gotcha.
which is a tricky team because if you go to Dreammaker, they have a very good Dreammaker. They have two very good solid girls.
Mhm.
Rafa is tricky,
Yeah.
can make a couple points, and Blaine serves
He
very
can
big.
get hot.
So a team like this, like shit, if you
Better
if you,
win men's.
If you well, yeah, of course, but then you have two mixes that it's MLP score, and you might get tied a little, just 2 points, and you lose it. And then you go Dreambreaker and thinking, God damn, our girls, are they going to compete against two top
Yeah, it's
10
tough.
players? It's kind of tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imposible.
And so, Layne, for you, like, what do partners look like for you going into the next season? Do you have anything lined up, or are you still kind of figuring it out?
I have a couple lined up in January. Gonna play one with Judith and one with Yvonne. That's
I'm
really all I
sorry.
have lined
I'm
up.
sorry I was a dick.
I was going to say, Travis ditched you, I heard, right?
Yeah, he did.
That's the
chose
third
someone
time
else
I've done
over
that
me.
this year, I swear to you. The third time
These 3 people?
where I booked 2 people for the same tournament.
Oh.
I'm a fucking idiot. I mean, I had it on like a little,
That
like
happened to me too.
a napkin in my drawer, and I'm just.
Sounds like you.
I can't believe that's the perception you have of me. I feel like I look so organized.
That's
like
funny.
my cup in the one hand, and that all didn't.
Yeah. What about you, Jaume? What's your partnerships looking like for next year?
I'm playing for now with Augie and Jackie Kawamoto. For
Okay.
the first quarters.
Cool.
or
Sweet.
second
Yeah.
quarters, yeah.
Are those new? Have you played with them
I
before?
played with Augie one time, and I made
You
a
guys played
final,
great, yeah.
and I played one time with Jackie, and
Sweet.
I made bronze.
Okay.
She's fucking awesome. I think she's great. She's
I think
probably the
Jackie is
best
one
dinker.
of the best players.
Yeah,
around.
she's a
Really?
really,
All
really
around.
good dinker.
What makes you say that, like, compared to some of the others? Like, just more consistent, or is she more aggressive? Or
She chooses the patterns really well. She gets me involved without me having to force it.
Mhm.
So I really don't have to like think much when I play with her because I know she's gonna do it. When I play with other people, I have to include myself by force,
Mm.
and that what makes me make more mistakes.
Yeah.
Rather than if the girl can include you without you trying, that's just great. That's
Got it.
what you wish from a girl in a mixed partnership.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
she's one of the few girls that can be hyper consistent, manipulate the ball at the line, and then create offense. Like she has sneaky offense. It's not powerful, but it's like shifty. It's unexpected. She's got a great lob. She's very dynamic.
yeah. Cool. Sweet.
I have one last question.
Go ahead.
Jaume, what was your tennis career like? Were you good?
I would
I
I,
thought- I heard
want to
you were a
say
good
I was
junior.
good, but
Like 14
you know,
or
there is-
something?
there is I had ATP points by 15.
Okay. So you were really good then.
I played well back then. It was easier to get ATP
Don't
points.
talk
but-
like
no,
that.
not easier.
Don't talk like
but
that back then. What are you?
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 30,
Christ almighty.
31.
31.
Okay.
Uh,
back
nice.
then.
15
Shit.
years ago.
Okay, fair
Uh,
enough. Fuck, that sounds terrible.
It was hard to get the ATP points. Yeah, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of qualifiers, and
And
everybody
you probably
was
got him in
playing.
Spain, no?
Yeah, I got in Spain.
So that's
yeah.
fucking hard.
Yeah, and it was like 5 rounds of qualies every
Yeah.
time. It was a grind,
Yeah.
But yeah, I played high level until 16, 17. I played 8 futures, a couple challengers, and then I called it quits because I didn't have finances or anything to support
Okay.
my tennis career. I stopped
That's
playing tennis,
the hardest
and
part.
then went to college. I couldn't play D1 because I had ATP points, and they told me that by NCAA rules you have to return I don't know what money, which
Such stupid
yeah,
shit.
some
I
stupid
fucking
bullshit.
hate that shit.
And so I had to go to D2, and then in D2 played good. I was top 3 in D2, and won nationals, runner up 2 times, and won all Paco's tournaments with the teams. So it was okay. I mean,
15
D2 is
ATP
different.
points says a lot. That's especially in Spain. That's hard to do. If you were in like Uzbekistan,
No,
okay,
yeah,
but-
I wanted to be a professional tennis player.
Yeah.
That was my dream.
Yep.
And it was way too hard. It was like
It's hard.
traveling by yourself. I also happened to be in Mallorca, which is an island. So
Mhm.
everywhere I had to like take planes. It was more expensive. And
were you playing with
whenever-
Rafa as a junior?
Huh?
Were you practicing with Rafa as a junior?
when I was, I did practice with him when he usually would fly people from Barcelona, whatever. But whenever there was no good people to travel around, then we would take the couple little players that we had in Mallorca playing future, which was me and another two guys, and then
Okay.
we get to go to his house and practice with him a couple hours. It
Nice.
was great. I was
Yeah,
not
that's
his,
cool.
as they say, is like, oh, Jaume was the sparring partner of Rafa Nadal. No, I
Yeah.
did do the sparring function to him. I wasn't a regular sparring partner of him. It just happened that I was lucky enough in that time to play ATP futures, and that's the only thing that threw me there.
Okay. So, have you ever played tennis together?
Yeah, we play all the time for fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Actually, yeah, we wake up, it's like, should we play pickleball? I was like, let's play tennis.
Really? Yeah.
And we go and play tennis.
Donald was hitting tennis balls today. I call him, what are you doing? He's like, my dad's feeding me balls. Oh, what are you working on? Oh, I'm playing tennis. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot,
still feels nice,
a lot
man.
of padel too.
Oh,
Have
yeah?
you play padel?
I've only played once, but it was with him. And I mean,
But it was with me.
well, it completely
I
like
understand.
diminishes any reality that it might be fun.
Yeah.
Although he was really fun with pickleball, so that's different. But no,
Yeah.
I've never really played much. But I see you playing a lot. I see your posts and stuff that padel is a big one for you.
Yeah.
I played padel in Spain too.
Oh,
and
really? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it was
cool.
really fun. Well, back when I was trying to make a couple bucks, you know,
Yeah.
in Spain, I did my padel license as a coach. So I was like teaching lessons in hotels, like
Oh,
just
wow.
like tennis. You know, I used to charge $8
Hustling.
for an hour, you know.
Oh.
So I was making my living with $8 an hour, you know.
Damn.
We have
And
2 padel
so-
courts going in. That's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
club.
More
That's
reasons
cool.
to come to St.
Well,
Pete. 2 padel
I
courts.
do have the certification as a coach.
There you go. You could be
Hey,
our
man,
head
come on,
padel coach.
we got a multifaceted, talented individual here.
And you can charge more than $8.
Yes. Actually, a funny story. When I came to the United States, and I used to like sparring people or stuff for like $8, $10, you know, and then I had to pay like the lighting and stuff in Spain. I came to Hawaii, and some guy came to me and said, "Hey, can you give me lessons, tennis lessons?" You know, and I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "I'll pay you $25 for 2 hours every day." And I was like, "Holy, I'm rich."
Whoa.
To find out that the minimum amount they charge is like 70 to 100, and then you have me fucking weeks of work for $25 thinking I'm rich. I was like,
For some McDonald's.
I was like, holy, man, this is great.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh man.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
When I found out, I was like, dude, I'm raising your price.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 150 now.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, that's what we got. So yeah, thank you both
Thank
for
you for
coming
joining,
on.
guys.
Yeah.
Tennis
our pleasure.
fucking
Thanks for
sucks,
having
but
us.
it's great
Sucks.
also. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm winning every bet right now. Giovanni and Pesci Pericard.